Hello everyone, thanks everyone for tuning into this workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So today we're going to be reviewing House of Hearts by Skylar Art, A-R-D-N-T. I don't think I pronounced her last name right. In any case, this was a book gifted to me twice from the publisher. They first sent me an ARC and then they followed that up by sending me a final proof. So thank you so much, publisher, for doing that. I ended up gifting the ARC to my bestie because I'm like, you're gonna like this. I don't need 2 copies. In any case, this was not what I was expecting. I liked the book. I didn't expect that supernatural aspect of the book to take center stage, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure what I was expecting when I picked up the book, but it wasn't that. I wasn't expecting a vengeful ghost. I was not expecting a cursed family line. I wasn't expecting murdering soulmates. I thought this was going to be just a very contemporary dark academia book without the supernatural aspect of the book. So I liked the supernatural aspect a lot. The book follows Violet. She goes to the prestigious art academy because she wants to avenge her best friend Emery, her death. She needs to avenge her death. She's convinced that her boyfriend at the time, Percy Lockwell, who is pretty much a descendant of the people who created the school, the Heart Academy, he pretty much owns the campus. Basically, his family does own the campus. This campus has been passed through generations. She's convinced he murdered her, and she needs to bring him to justice. And that's what I was expecting. I was expecting a murder mystery. I was expecting her to try to hunt down Percy Lockwell. And then when it's kind of sprung on us, no, the school is actually haunted by Anastasia Hart, the youngest daughter of the original headmaster, who, in the hedge maze behind the school, cut out her heart when it was, and then cursed the family line to continuously kill their soulmates. Because if she couldn't get her soulmate, why should anyone else get their soulmates, right? She was not expecting that, Violet. I certainly was not expecting that. So now she is in this exclusive House of Cards, House of Hearts. It's the secret organization everyone knows about, but they don't know what they do. Basically, the organization's goal is to break the curse, to find a way to break the curse. So that way, people in the Hart family, named Lockwell, they just want to stop killing their soulmates and just have their happily ever afters, right? They want to stop that. And who can blame them? But they also don't know where Percy is. They have no idea where Percy is. They know he was investigating the curse with Emery, and they were trying to find a way to solve it themselves and break the curse that they could be happily ever after. They don't know. But Violet, she's starting to put pieces together. She's going deeper and deeper into the past to find out, okay, what went on with Anastasia Hart and her sister Helen and the love interest, the boy in the center of it all. What really happened? And what she discovers is what she did not expect was going to happen. I don't want to spoil it because I feel like you do see it coming a mile away in hindsight, but when you're reading it, you don't see it coming, but it makes perfect sense. That's why I'm like, oh, in hindsight, yeah, that makes totally perfect sense. I should have seen that coming, and I didn't. And so it's nice when I'm pleasantly surprised. I liked the pacing. I thought the pacing was excellent, actually. I think it was really, really good at building up that supernatural element and then springing it on us. Because the supernatural aspect of the book kind of begins, right when she meets Calvin Lockwell, Violet. She's seeing Emery's ghost, and it's like, okay, is it really Emery's ghost, or is that just her grief? So you kind of brush it aside. But once you realize, oh no, there's a supernatural aspect to the book, you're like, oh, so the supernaturalness started from the get-go. And I like that. I like how it's subtly there, and then it makes perfect sense. So I liked the rising tension. I liked the building of the plot line. I like how it wasn't just a dark academia book. I like how it also wasn't just fantasy either. There's a little bit of murder mystery. There's a little bit of history in the book. There's really good character development. Well, it seemed very rushed. I will say that. I liked the characters, but I felt like some of those character dynamics, like with Birdie and Amber, and Oliver, I felt like it was very rushed, but also I can't really fault it because when you're in high school, that's just how you make friends sometimes. So I'm like, it's very much like, because it is young adult, it does take place, they are seniors now at the Heart Academy. And so I'm like, no, it makes sense when you don't really think about it, because you're like, oh yeah, people just kind of fell into their own circles in high school, just kind of like that. And even when you're an adult, like my two besties, we just kind of fell into being besties. They are auntie and uncle to my kids. They are my found family. So I can't even pinpoint the moment like, when exactly did that happen, So I understand it. I got it. It makes sense for the story. But personally, I think it moved too fast with those character dynamics. I wanted to see a little bit more development, especially with her and Calvin. I do like their banter. I do like he's kind of like this obnoxious bad boy facade. And it's really just to keep girls at a distance because he does not want to fall into the trap of killing his soulmate. Then he meets Violet and it's like, well, shit, you're my soulmate. And Violet's like, I guess I am. Because they do have really good chemistry. I just think some scenes like the boat scene, I thought were so well done. And I wanted more scenes where it was like a little deeper emotionally between the characters. Because that ending, I kind of blew through that ending. The last quarter of it, it was just non-stop. But it felt really rushed. I think I understand the rising tension, so it makes sense why it's rushed, but it felt too rushed. And I felt like there were little gaps. Maybe I was just reading it too fast. I felt like there were gaps in just the scene development. But it was overall a really, really good read. I do highly recommend it. It was really interesting. I think I just wanted more. I think because I liked it, I wanted more from it. And that's why I'm being like a little nitpicky with certain aspects. Like the dynamics. The characters are a lot of fun. Birdie's super fun. Amber's really fun. I wanted a little bit more dynamic with Violet and those characters. And her kind of, a little bit more of her having to contend with the grief and guilt of developing these new friendships while she's still grieving her previous relationship with Emery. So I think I wanted a little bit of more depth there, but the characters do balance out. They really do make a good dynamic. I think I just wanted a little bit more depth to the dynamic, especially, her and Calvin. I wanted more depth there, more scenes like when they're together and they're vulnerable together. I really thought those scenes were powerful. I thought they were just too short. And I think there could have been a little bit more instead of us just like rushing at the end, like, oh no, the curse is here. We have to break the curse. We have to find it. I wanted a little bit more and a little bit more delving into the history. Diary entries I thought were very, very good. The diary entries from Anastasia Hart. I wanted a little bit more, not flashbacks, but some more dynamic there. A little bit more, again, depth. I think that's just what was lacking for me. But I blew through it. Quick read, engaging. I couldn't put it down. Really, really liked it, honestly. So yeah, solid 4 stars. Solid 4 stars. On that note, thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your book and friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, happy reading.